We have Solicits for
Mm-hmm.
September. I did see a couple of announcements on Twitter during the week. I've not looked at the Solicits themselves, so I'm assuming
Mm-hmm.
everything I saw will just be in the Solicits. If it isn't at the end, we'll maybe find out. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But starting off September Solicits, we have Absolute Power issue 3. The event continues. Not much to say really here. This is the Wade and Dan Mora book. We have Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween issue
Mm-hmm.
1. This is Jeff Loeb and Eduardo Risso. This is
Uh-huh.
interesting. But is
Issue
this?
1, it doesn't say. I think it's an ongoing. It's at least a mini, because it
Yeah,
says...
I doubt it's an ongoing, but
Yeah, you know what I meant.
yeah,
That's not a one-shot.
it doesn't say
Uh,
one shot
oh,
anyways.
they're all new 10-part mystery continuing from the Long Halloween
Oh,
special. So, yeah.
10-part mystery. Continue
Mm-hmm.
from the Long Halloween special. So I don't think I read that because I think it was
Mm-mm.
mostly old stuff with like one
Yeah.
little new story. So hopefully this is easy to
Yeah.
jump in. But we're getting a new Jeff Loeb Long Halloween
Mm-hmm.
sequel.
The Last Halloween, too. It's a good name.
Both Long Halloween and Dark Victory, which is a sequel to that,
Mhm.
are both very good and
Yep.
very good books to recommend after year one as like early Batman stories. So this is interesting. No, I mean, admittedly, Jeff Loeb's writing quality has varied a lot over the decades, but
Yeah.
okay, I'm intrigued. We'll see how it
Mhm.
goes.
Yeah, they're calling it the final act of the Long Halloween. So I guess they're counting Dark Victory in that. So
Of course
that's
they
cool.
are.
Well, no, but I know, but it doesn't have that thing, because when it says it's the end, where did it say that? Multiple sequels, the long anticipated final act, Batman: The Last Halloween. So yeah.
Yeah, Dark Victory is absolutely the
Mhm.
second main book in that lineage. So yeah, I mean, effectively this becomes a trilogy. I know technically there's Haunting Night, but that was like 3 different
Yeah.
Halloween special one shots.
Right.
It wasn't really quite the same thing. That predated Long Halloween, and then Long Halloween was obviously this big marquee book. Dark Victory was a
Which
sequel a few years later. So
it was those
this,
specials, right? That is why they did the Long Halloween.
yeah. It kind of
Yeah.
like is what led to Long Halloween being a thing,
Hmm.
but they're very different and separate from the rest of it. Whereas Long Halloween and Dark Victory are easily like I would never recommend someone just read Long Halloween. I would always say read Dark Victory as
Yeah.
well. So
I
yeah.
have it. I still have yet to read Dark Victory. I do have it though, sitting on the shelf.
So this would be the end of the trilogy, I guess.
Hmm.
Uh, Shame that Tim Sale isn't doing the interior. They're doing a
Yeah.
cover, sure, but not doing the
Hmm.
interiors. Not that Rizzo's a bad artist, but
Yeah.
clearly a compromise was made, perhaps for whatever reason.
Well, Tim
So
Sale passed, correct?
did he?
I think so.
Okay, I'm misremembering that. That's
Yeah.
on
Hey,
me.
let me just double check, because I think that that
Really?
cover they also used.
Ah, this is an old cover.
Yeah. Yeah. He passed away June 16th, 2022. So
Well, yeah.
yes.
Now we're talking about it. I remember this happening.
Yep.
Uh, well,
So yes, indeed, a compromise was made. No one did any necromancy to get Sale to come up and
well,
finish
maybe
the
they should
trilogy.
have. Maybe they should have raised them from the dead to do one more book. Okay.
Although Eduardo Rizzo's art does complement the Sale style a little bit. They have the flat colors and
Yeah. That's
that style of art. So
not a bad choice. Okay,
no.
apologies there. I'm just forgetting Tim Sale's dead. But fair enough. Next up, Nightwing 118.
Hmm.
This is the finale of Taylor's run, his final
Yeah.
arc. So we'll see how that goes. We got DC's I Know What You Did Last Crisis. I mean, that's a funny title.
It is.
I'll give them that. I doubt I will read this 80-page anthology issue. But
Yeah.
notably though, from this is just the fact that one of the writers is none other than Dan Didio. That's the reason why this stands out more than anything.
Hmm.
But obviously everyone's making their jokes about Didio being back. Him doing a short story in an anthology is very different from him being in charge. I wouldn't worry everyone.
Yes. Yeah. So there's. I don't want to give away the what's in the blurb underneath the solicit, But knowing what I know about DIDIO, it's very funny that this seems to be the story of the anthology. So if you just want to give that a read, I don't want to spoil it for people in case they don't know. But yes.
So, yeah, I won't be touching that. Not because it's DIDIO, just because I tend to skip these big 80-page anthologies these days.
It's all stuff that is taking place during those. So it's an anthology book about stories from Crisis on Infinite Earths, Millennium, Zero Hour, The Final Night, and Final Crisis. So it's kind of like a grab bag of stories set during those events, which, I'm sure will be fine.
Well, yeah, but that I mean, if this was a mini-series, though, I'd give it a try. But the fact that this 80-page anthology with a bunch of 10-page stories makes me far less, interested in trying it. So, next up, we got Lobo Cancellation Special. That's a hell of a title.
Yep.
Can't say I'm particularly excited about this one shot, but it's Kyle Starks writing with Kyle Hutz on the art. There's something funny to me about having a creative team where they're both named Kyle. I don't know.
It is Starks and Hutz. They sound like a tag team. Starks and Hutz. No,
or a detective buddy cop duo.
I just again the solicit underneath. There's a lot of heavy lifting. Is that pronounced Giz? Gizz?
No, it's Fatal's Jizmat, of course.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
I mean, I don't know if it's pronounced that way, but I get the confusion. Are they going for something that's a double entendre? I mean, can you even call it a double entendre at this point? You're just saying the word jizz. So,
exactly. It's.
Yep. Plus, the word Uranus is in there, so there's a lot of intentional word choice going on.
Definitely.
Yeah. Next up, Batman 152. Chip Zdarsky still there. It's an absolute power tie-in though, so I mean, we'll see. Then we have Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, issue 0. Oh, is this just going to be reprinting that special?
I believe so, because it's the one shot, and it's Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb.
Oh, no, this is perfect because we can read this then. Perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Refresh. So that's on sale 9/18, and the Long Halloween special is on sale 9/25 the week before. So
perfect.
Or the week after. So we'll be all ready to go.
Yeah, we'll just read this one shot that week and then issue one the following week. Easy peasy. Absolute Power Super Son, one shot tie-in to the event. We got Cena Grace and Nicole Maines on writing duties and art by John Timms and Travis Mercer. So I presume it'll be 2 stories, with a Dreamer story being the second one, because Nicole Maines only writes Dreamer stories. So
yeah, one day they're gonna show up in a book that's not Dreamer, and we're gonna get floored because we're gonna be all right, stretching the wings a bit.
I don't know. Knowing the irony of the world, it'll be like a weird DC will start doing some Warner Brothers horror books, and it'll be a Nightmare on Elm Street just for the irony of hey, not doing Dreamer anymore. You're doing Freddy Krueger.
That's funny.
Next up, we got Superman 18. Williamson with Jamal Campbell's back on art, actually, because he did the first arc on Williamson's run. Again, it's a tie-in to Absolute Power. So, having a bunch of the regular books tying into event is a kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, at least it's the same writer, so they can maybe do something with it. It really all just comes down to, will I like the event? Now, given that Wade is on the event, I suspect I am going to like the event, but will I think the tie-ins are worth having the book stop their regular story for a month? That remains to be seen. Admittedly, I don't really like Williamson's Superman that consistently, so maybe I won't care that much with him, but... In fact, same with Chip Zdarsky, even more so with Chip Zdarsky on Batman, so maybe I should just shut up and just enjoy the fact that their stories are getting interrupted. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Although, I don't know. Zdarsky's there's still a lot of hanging threads left from his that I'm sure he's going to get back to. So it's just a brief interruption.
We'll see. Wonder Woman 13, we get another fill-in artist here. Tony S. Daniels jumping on this one with Tom
Also
King.
a tie-in.
Which, honestly, that's perfect for taking a break with the artist as a tie-in to the event. So that one's actually worked out quite nicely. So it saves us getting one of those Gilliam March one-shots again.
Yes.
So, yeah, that overall, that's a plus. I'd say that's a plus. Green Arrow 16, Also an Absolute Power tie-in. Although this one, to be fair, has been kind of been building to Absolute Power anyway.
Yes.
So fair enough.
Yep.
Oh, Green Lantern's an Absolute Power tie-in. Green Lantern issue 50. God.
Shocked.
Yeah, they're really doing all the books are tying into the event thing with this one, aren't they?
Being that we read a lot of DC, it makes sense for certain books to tie in. You know, like with Green Lantern, we've had Theros running around.
I mean, it does with Batman as well, because Failsafe's involved with Waller. But yeah, I am just side-eyeing that I'm seeing that in every solicit almost, as that Absolute Power tie-in banner. Absolute Power Origins issue 3. This is obviously the tie-in miniseries by John Ridley. Then we get Absolute Power Task Force 7 issue 6. Also, rounding out that. Well, actually, not rounded out because there's an issue 7 of that. Okay, fair enough. Is 7 the last
I
one?
hope that's the last issue, because having 7 of Team 7 or Task Force 7, it's just everything feels right.
Then we got Batman the Barbarian issue 1 by Greg Smallwood.
Yep. Well, I'm here. This is all I need. This is gonna be my whole personality for that month.
So this is issue 1 of 6. It is bi-monthly, which I think, given there's not an issue 2 solicited, means every other month as opposed to twice a month. But this is Greg Smallwood writing and on art. I don't know what Greg Smallwood's writing's like, but his art, of course, is very, very good.
I read his, which one was it? Vampironica, and he co-wrote it, I think, with his... So I don't know if it's a sister or wife, but it was another Smallwood, I think. And it was decent. I don't know how much of that was him telling the story through the art versus the words and whatnot. The art was fantastic, and the story was fine. I mean, it was vampires in Riverdale,
Okay.
and Ronnie having to be like the Buffy kind of character, which was kind of fun. So I'm very excited for this.
Yeah. It doesn't mention here it's an Elseworld, but it is an Elseworld.
Yeah.
Like, it may not officially have that banner, but it is absolutely an Elseworld.
This showed up. I was wondering what this was, because this showed up on the if you look through the ads on the digitals, they have the Elseworlds list. This one came up on there.
It was on there? Okay,
it was
good to know.
So yeah.
I just wish they'd label it in the same way that they should label Black Label. And is Elseworld also Black Label? Because it feels like they kind of are, but maybe they're ditching Black Label for Elseworld now. Maybe they'll just switch that over. But regardless, I mean, the cover looks gorgeous. It's so colorful. There's the pinks and the greens and the orange glow of the flame. You've got a sword wielding Batman in sort of fantasy times. We'll see how it goes. Detective Comics 1089, and Hello Darkness, my old friend, because Gilliam March is on an issue of Ram V's Detective Comics.
And it also says backup art to be determined, which could be Gilliam March. I feel like they're threatening us.
Yeah, so obviously we're getting very much near the end of Ram V's run at this point. And it's upsetting that some of his final issues are going to have art by Gilliam March, but hey-ho. I will say the main cover is kind of cool.
Yeah, Evan Cagle.
Yeah. It's kind of like a watercolor, sort of just night sky, but you can kind of see Batman sort of vaguely over the moon kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is pretty.
A lot of snowy covers with the rest of them. So.
Oh, we get a lot of Mr. Freeze or something?
That's what I think.
Yeah. Then we got Nightwing Uncovered, which is obviously one of these cover collections. We got Batman Dark Age issue 6. That's the Mark Russell book. Maybe coming to a close with that one. It doesn't say of how many, but it sounds like it may be the last one. And then we got Batman Brave and the Bold issue 17, continuing the anthology book, where we got Michael Conrad and Alex Segura doing stories on this one. Then we got Catwoman 68. You got Birds.
Still Tini Howard.
Still Tini Howard, yeah. I was just sort of skimming there to see if it said, end of her run
or
anything like that. Birds of Prey issue 13, with a nice. Okay, I can't make it bigger.
It's frustrating on the site that you can't make it. Oh yeah, you can.
You can, but you have to click on the icon in the corner, not on the image itself.
Yes.
Yeah. But nice cover there. But we have Gavin Guidry on the art in this one. But it is Leonardo Romero who did the first arc, who's doing the cover here, which is why it's so pretty. But yeah, obviously we've been digging that book a lot, so that's cool to see. Batman and Robin 13 are by Juan Faraya.
Hey,
okay,
that's good.
Okay, that'll perk me up for this next arc if we got his art on it. We got Batman Superman World's Finest 31. Oh, is that your Blue Beetle artist on that?
Yep, Gutierrez.
Yeah. So that's what he's on after Blue Beetle.
Should be good, and it looks like it's Eclipso, so let's go.
I got Harley Quinn 43. I got Poison Ivy 25. What's this? Multiverses Collision Detected. Oh, this is tying into the video game thing, probably. Although notably, it's Brian Q. Miller, who I have been begging for Brian Q. Miller to be back on a DC book for so goddamn long, and they keep giving him these weird, like they give him Smallville for years. I'm like, can we put him on an actual DC monthly book, please? For those of you who don't know, Brian Q. Miller wrote the Stephanie Brown Batgirl series back in like the 2009 to 2011 era. And I love that book, so I want Brian Q. Miller on a regular book again.
Yes. So real quick, that Ivy 25 is like a special 25th issue where they're doing anthology stories. So there's multiple.
It's oversized, yeah. So the main story, the main story's by the regular team, but then there's some backups, yeah.
So there's oversized stuff there. So I just want to point that out too.
Action Comics 1069. We're into Gail Simone's 3-month tenure on the book, so we'll see how that goes. So I almost thought that was the Gary Frank cover there for a second.
It looks very similar, right?
Yeah, it's not, but I almost thought it was because of the faces of the kids.
Yeah, I think that's Eddie Barrows.
Yeah, we got Trinity Special World's Finest. So this is Tom King and Belen Ortega. So I'm just double checking here. This isn't reprinting the backups because I feel like it could be given the team. But
yes, these are, because I am very familiar with all of these backup stories. Yeah, they talk about, can Lizzie survive Darkseid and his terrifying math? Will an innocent trip to the past for homework change the future? Are Damien John's barks worse than their bite? So I'm pretty sure they're just collecting these backups, which is nice.
That's interesting. I wonder...
It's making Trinity feel like an actual character, not just a piece of the story.
Oh, sure, but that's the backups that already existed. But in terms of like putting it out like this, I wonder if that means they know there's not going to be enough for just a trade with just nothing but them.
Yeah, that's true.
Has the collection of like this book so far included those backups as part of the trade?
I don't know.
I'd be curious to see that. But this is 56 pages, including ad pages and whatever. So, or maybe they're going to do more than one. Doesn't say issue 1 though, so that you wouldn't think it would. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird because I feel like they're already part of the main Wonder Woman book, and if you care enough about Wonder Woman that you'd want to find out more about this character, you're probably already reading the Wonder Woman book. Yeah. So it's kind of weird. I guess the main idea of this is something you can hand, because they're kind of younger focused stories, those backups, so you can hand this to a younger girl maybe. And that could be the fun of it, but I do question the audience scope for recollecting those backups on their own as a single issue. But
if you really want to mess with Connor, you should just assign him those guys and his, pay him to read stuff.
I mean, he's here like once every 6 episodes. I don't know if it's even worth your money, to be honest. But
I don't know. I think it would be funny though, making him read Tom King's stories about Lizzie.
No, because I don't want to hear him talk about Tom King books. I don't want to hear about it. Right?
I just want him to be miserable. That's all.
I'm okay with him being miserable, but I don't want him being miserable to affect my mood. So
that's fair.
All right, we got Outsiders issue 11. That's continuing. It's the penultimate issue. Yeah, it's the penultimate issue. So it's ending
coming out on 9/11 with what we know about Jenny Crisis too. That's a dodgy.
Yeah, we got Titans issue 15, which it's teasing a major death, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Sejic variant, if that's your bag, and it probably is. So.
Yeah. Oh wow, that looks very nice.
We got Power Girl 13. We have Shazam. issue 15. So, fun,
Yeah.
pulpy, old school looking cover. Lupacino on the art here for this one again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. Then we got the Flash issue 13, which obviously I have dropped, but
Yes.
you're still going strong.
Mm-hmm.
From the DC Vault, Death in the Family, Robin Lives issue 3. So that's continuing. My Adventures with Superman issue 4 by Josie Campbell. Batman 89 Echoes issue 5. And then we got our Mad Magazine issue 40. And then we have Batman Gotham by Gaslight, The Kryptonian Age issue 3. So that's obviously...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, wait. I was going to say that's obviously every other month, but maybe it isn't, huh? It must be skipping a month, though, because it would be on issue 4 by September.
Right.
If it wasn't. So it must be skipping at least 1 month. But okay. Good to know. This is 12 issues? I did not know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Okay, cool. Nice cover as well, for the record. We got DC versus Vampires World War V issue 2. Remains to be seen how that shakes out. Same with Dark Knights of Steel All Winter issue 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're getting sequels to both the Vampire Elseworld and the medieval Elseworld. That's interesting. Plastic Man No More issue 1. So this was announced this week. This is Christopher Cantwell and art by Alex Linz and Jacob Edgar. This is a 4-issue miniseries. Obviously about Plastic Man. So I don't know the creative names all that well, but I'm cool with the Plastic Man mini.
Yeah, I've heard about Christopher Cantwell. I think he's done a couple smaller stuff, but it also says that he's an Eisner. Well, this team is Eisner nominated creative team of Christopher Cantwell and Alex Linz.
Here's part of the solicit just for some context here. Plastic Man when an accident on Justice League mission leads to a catastrophic cellular damage, Plastic Man discovers he might just be out of time and make amends for the past he's tried hard to outrun, or to save the soul of his son, who unfortunately for him might have inherited more from dear old dad than just his superpowers. So it sounds like Plastic Man's dying, and he's trying to do what he can with these final days.
But yeah, it says it'll bring you the 5 words you thought you'd never read: hard-boiled Plastic Man noir. So, Yeah,
the last Plastic Man book we had was that Gail Simone mini, like 3 years ago, maybe at this point.
3 or 4, yeah.
Something like that. So, we'll see. Then we got a bunch of facsimile editions. Crisis on Infinite Earth 6, Detective Comics 400. We got Nice House by the Sea issue 3. Obviously, we're excited about that. And then Jenny Sparks issue 2, the new Tom King book, continuing. And then we got The Boy Wonder issue 5.
Which, 5. So
final issue.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's neat. Having read 2 of those now, I'm glad that it's 5 issues, because part of me thought it was 3 or 4. And
me too.
And I thought, oh, really? We're getting ready to wrap up. But knowing that there's 5 makes me feel better about it. And then we got John Constantine, Dead in America, issue 9. And we got Zatanna, Bring Down the House, issue 4. I kind of like how they're putting all the Elseworlds and Black Label books at the end here. It feels nice that they're mostly separate. Primer, Clashing Colors, issue 3. Batman and Robin and Howard, Summer Breakdown, issue 3. Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries, issue 9. And Looney Tunes 280. Plus they're reprinting the Batman Elmer Fudd special.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I didn't get that physically, so my shop didn't order enough of it.
Yeah.
So, and then it went out of print real quick, so I like that they're putting it back out there.
Yeah, and they're doing some Batman Day noir editions of some books. They're doing a Batman Day deluxe edition of Long Halloween. So
that is a fantastic cover. The black and white jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, that's the Long Halloween issue 1 Batman Day edition, but they're doing a deluxe, I assume, hardcover. It doesn't actually say if it's a hardcover, but I assume it's a hardcover.
Yeah, deluxe edition. It's $50, so you'd guess.
Yeah. So yeah, and they're doing a Batman Day edition of Batman One Bad Day Riddler, which is the Tom King one, which to be fair, I think was the best one of that bunch.
The best of those, yep.
Yeah. So yeah, they're milking Batman Day for September this year with all these specials and reprints and whatnot. So they're also doing Batman Wayne Family Adventures, which is like a special of some kind.
I think those were the internet or the digital first books.
It's like a reprint, yeah, but it's
yeah.
For some reason, these Batman Day things are really light in information under the covers. They're just kind of bare bones.
So these are also saying like 30 cents net per copy. So I don't know. Is this 7.50 net for bundles of 25? So I don't know.
It feels like they're trying to do some kind of like cheap bundle things. It's not quite new free comic book day, but they're doing kind of like a mini free comic book day thing with it, where it's not going to be free, but they should be cheap, and the store should make.
So the thing is, people are going to be celebrating Batman Day. The shops are going to want people in the store. So here, buy a bunch of these. You can hand them out. You know, which is nice. I mean, for, you have 50 copies for $15, to hand out. So,
okay. Now at the collections, we got Batman First Night. That hardcover's coming out. So cool. We got DC Finest Wonder Woman Origins and Omens, which is almost 600 pages. It's got Gail Simone, Mark Waid, and Mark Andreyko written stuff inside here. Interesting. And there's DC's Finest Superman, the First Superhero, which is written by Jerry Siegel.
Yeah. Art by Joe Shuster, Wayne Boring, and Paul Cassidy, and others. So these are like early.
I mean, this is literally just like a recollection of like the Chronicles series. It's like the first 2 volumes of Chronicles. Not quite as much as the Golden Age Omnibus, but like half of it. Because it's got Action Comics 1-25 and Superman 1-5. So yeah, so weird. And then we got DC's Finest Batman Year 1 and 2 as a sort of bundled soft cover. So these seem to be thick soft covers collecting some notable works. Okay. We got Elseworlds Batman Volume 3 2024 edition. Elseworlds Justice League Volume 3 2024 edition. Superman House of Brainiac is getting a soft cover. And we got Superman Exile and Other Stories Omnibus. This is a new edition. This is some post-crisis stuff, isn't it? This is like after the initial run, I think.
It says the late 1980s stories. So yeah,
this is between the initial Man of Steel run and before Death of Superman. It's somewhere in that range.
Well, it says the late 1980s stories that set the stage for the epic Death of Superman storyline are collected in the special hardcover.
Right, so it's literally just bridging those two like series of collections. Okay. And then we got Wonder Woman Golden Age Omnibus Volume 6. So that's a new milestone for Golden Age Wonder Woman. This is as far as they've gotten with this. That's neat. Takes up to Wonder Woman 71 from the initial book, plus whatever Sensation Comics go along with that. Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, Book 3. This is a paperback reprint. And then Book 4, also getting reprinted. So, fun.
That goes up through Final Crisis. So, Rage of the Red Lanterns.
Yeah, sounds about right. Because I think Book 2 is basically Sinestro Corps War, if I remember right.
Yep.
Wildcats Compendium 1, so they're doing one of these massive soft covers, which I always complain about, but hey, there they are. Yep. They're reprinting Absolute Green Lantern Sinestro Corps War. I've always thought that's a weird one to do in that format, because I feel like Johns' Green Lantern's such a run that demands omnibuses or a series of books, but they're never going to do like several absolutes going through the entire run, so it feels weird to me to have... It doesn't feel like a standalone enough story to me. It feels like part of a run, but...
No, yeah, you're right. But I could see why they'd want to do that, because that's where there's a lot of big moments that are going to look great in that absolute format.
Absolute Transmetropolitan Volume 3, new edition. That's obviously just a reprint. Scalped Omnibus Volume 1, so that's a new thing. Jason Aaron's book getting collected in omnibus
format.
Issues
1 through 29. So I got through the first 3 trades. So
this will be more than that. This is like the first 6 trades, probably.
Yeah, it got really bleak and heavy, and I was like, I can't be reading this right now. I have a lot of personal stuff going on. So I tend to get back. So I think I have the first 4 trades. I got them on a sale, like a Black Friday sale at the shop. So I'll eventually get back to it.
Scooby-Doo's Greatest Adventures new edition. So there you go. JSA Compendium Volume 1. So they're doing Jeff Johns' JSA run and a 1,300-page softcover. Are you insane?
There's no way you can read that.
Well, you
Like,
can,
think
but
about opening it.
the spine
Yeah.
is just going to completely implode on itself. That's just
Yeah.
nuts. Volume 2 of Batman, Tom King's run, I Am Suicide, just a new edition of the soft cover, so just reprinting. Robin, Son of Batman by Patrick Gleason, the deluxe edition.
Oh, that's a fun story. It's where he gets his like bat creature. That was a lot of fun.
Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Hard Traveling Heroes Omnibus. That's kind of cool actually, because Silver Age Green Lantern is completely collected in omnibus format,
Yeah.
and this comes right after that era of Green Lantern. This was what literally came next in the Green Lantern stories, so it's kind of nice that that can effectively be Silver Age Green Lantern volume 3 or 4. I don't remember how many volumes the Silver Age era ran, but this was next. This was like right after the end of that collection, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it must have been just 2 volumes because it's only this starts at 76 a Green Lantern, so yeah, that makes sense. Batwoman Elegy, new edition. They've reprinted this a bunch of times. Batgirl Stephanie Brown Volume 1.
That's why I just said ooh.
New edition. It's just a reprint, but if it's hard to find, then good for people to go and get it.
Yeah, but it's Brian Q. Miller, so they're starting to get Pete. They're starting to hear you.
I'm not getting my hopes up. No. I'm not getting my hopes up. But yeah, so that's the first half of that run, issues 1 to 12. And then Adventures of Superman John Kent soft cover. I assume they already did this in hardcover because it feels really late otherwise. Birds of Prey Murder and Mystery new edition. This is Gail Simone's first chunk of her Birds of Prey issues, I think. And then that wraps up the Solicits. So it's nice to see that they're keeping things in print by reprinting stuff at a regular pace. Back when I was collecting physical trades and stuff, I used to always be paranoid about things going out of print, so it's nice that they're keeping up on some of that stuff. Although I do wonder if the print runs are a lot smaller than they used to be, just because, I don't know, they don't want to take risks.
Yeah.
I don't know. So there you go, that's Solicits for September. A couple of new things there. The Batman Barbarian, the Plastic Man book sticks out. And if you really want to read some Dan Didio, you've got an option to do so.